I got Simple Green. This was about $6, I believe, and it's concentrated. It says for like heavy cleaning, you mix this 10-to-1 with water, so this makes a lot, basically. And then I've got Super Clean, which is what Cran told me has been working really well for him, and this was about, I think, $7, so they're pretty good prices for both of them. This one is 2 liters, but obviously it makes like up to 15 gallons, it says, and this one is 1 gallon. Obviously, you're probably not going to go through all of this, even if you paint thin like an entire army. So, the interesting thing with Super Clean, Cran said that when he's been using it, it has been dissolving the glue, which is actually a pretty desirable effect, especially if you plan on buying armies off of eBay. It's a really good way to disassemble the models that are built bad or that you want to change the weapon options of, as well as take the paint off. And both of these products are safe for plastic models, which is the really big selling point, because let's face it, you don't want to paint thin all of your models and have them come out a drippy glob of what was once your plastic. So to test this, I will be using 2 Dark Eldar Warriors. They're both pretty similar. They've had a few layers of paint on them and they look like shit, so that's kind of a requirement. I just got 2 cups to put some of each of these in. I'm going to leave them either a few hours or overnight, depending on how patient I am. And then I just picked up, these were $1 each, so I just bought 2 toothbrushes, one for each, because we're going to want to scrub the model to get all of the paint off. So it's pretty inexpensive to take the paint off of some models. Figure like $6 to do more than you'll ever need for the entire time you play Warhammer ever. So I'm going to test these out, and then whichever one I kind of decide works the best, I'm going to be using on this here Russ in a how-to video, which will probably be a separate video, just so you don't have to watch all of this if you just want to learn how to paint thin models. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this in. I want to do a stronger mix than the 10-to-1 that they suggest, just because I want to get this paint off. So okay, so we got both of these here, Super Clean and the Simple Green, and they're both awesome colors, and they both smell really delicious, so I might drink some later. The Simple Green is non-toxic if you do decide to drink it, and they're both biodegradable, so I guess keep that in mind when you decide to taste them. This one is mixed probably about 2 parts water to 1 part Simple Green. So it's quite concentrated compared to what they suggest. And here we go. Oh no, I'm floating. There we go. So I'll go ahead and leave those and time lapse. Okay, so these have been sitting now for probably about 7 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. This first one here is the Super Clean model. And it is still in one piece, and it's not a melted blob, which is always nice. And this here is the Simple Green. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and see if I can get any of this paint off. Okay, here is the Super Clean model. As you can see, it pretty much took everything off. That worked really well. This lift his boots, so you can see. But the Super Clean worked really well. It took everything off, like literally just about everything. There's a few cracks and like spots with texture that I've missed, but I mean, if I really tried, I could get that off. But it looks almost like a model that's never been painted. So the Super Clean did an amazing job. It doesn't seem to have affected the glue, which is kind of good and kind of bad. I was kind of hoping it would, but I'm sure there's other stuff out there to do that with. This is the model with the Simple Green. Unbeknownst to me, this model that I chose for it was actually one of the Dark Eldar models that had been painted over twice, so it didn't take everything off. However, it did take off pretty much all of the blue, all that kind of stuff, so it would look significantly better than this, but you could still tell that it's not taking it off as cleanly as the Super Clean did. And for some reason it seemed to have a really hard problem with metallics. Some of the metallics that were on the top layer are still there, and when it got through those, the metallics on the second layer didn't even really get touched. So metallics seem to be an issue with the Simple Green. As far as just cleaning your models with it, maybe if I dilute it less, it'll work even better. Who knows? But it gets rid of all the stuff that matters really. The stuff that's left is not going to really affect the detail on your model. But when it's pretty much the same price for the Super Clean, I'd probably go with that. Neither of them seem to have affected the glue at all. None of them broke while I was scrubbing them horrendously with a toothbrush. So they both smell really good. I think the Simple Green smells a little bit better. So if you do want to drink it, that one is non-toxic, as I've said before, but it probably tastes awful. But yeah, between the two, I would go with the Super Clean. I mean, I like Simple Green. It's a more usable, really, cleaner when it comes to not doing Warhammer models. But so as far as just cleaning models, the Super Clean by far just owned. So hope this helps you guys out. I'm going to be doing a video after this on how to paint thin models, basically. So you don't have to watch this whole thing if you are just looking to paint thin. You don't want to know about the difference between them. So that is it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey guys, CranberryMuffinManz here, and I want to talk to you guys about removing the paint from your models. Now, about 4 or 5 months ago, I had started researching this because I was going to redo some Ultramarines over to my Blood Angels, and I basically looked up online many different ways, and I decided to make a how-to cleaning video. And I started the how-to cleaning video about 3 weeks ago, and I've been trying new things almost every week. And I probably would have put the video out a week ago, but I heard from Darth Byrne that there was a fourth and fifth method that I was going to eventually try. Basically, the fourth method would be using a sandblaster that he bought that he's going to do a review on, and it's basically to remove paint on models, and he's going to try that out, and he's going to do a review video on that. And I was going to get one, but I wanted to see, I didn't want to release my how to remove paint video until I saw his results. The fifth method that Darth Byrne uses, he uses a sonic cleaner that uses like sound to generate bubbles that go against the paint and blow up next to it, removing the paint without damaging the plastic. And I was actually going to pick one of those up to try that as well. But the first 4 methods was the very first method that I learned of to remove paint was, let me go ahead and move this up, was Super Clean. Now, Super Clean Cleaner and Degreaser basically comes in these purple tubs, and you could buy them for, $3 or $4 at AutoZone or Walmart or whatever. I got this one, I believe, at an AutoZone. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove paint from what is it, 3 identical Bazooka Ultramarines to show you the difference in the cleaners. Now, one of the other methods, I already know Super Clean works. This is basically what Super Clean did. Now, I understand it's a metal model, but it has worked for me many times with plastic. Let me find a plastic model that I have over here. As a matter of fact, the thing is, most of them I've already painted and redid. Okay, I'll find one a little bit later. Now, I'm going to show you some other methods. Now, I've heard of using, isopropyl alcohol. So I'm going to put an ultramarine there. I heard it actually will melt away at the plastic or gum the plastic up if you leave it in there too long. So I will try not to leave it in there that long. And the other way, this is the newest way that's been told to me, was Simple Green. Empress Canaries told me about Simple Green. I have another tub in the garage. And I've always used Super Clean. I've never used Simple Green before, so this is going to be the first time for me to see if it actually works better than Super Clean. Now, Super Clean removes everything. I was hoping there was something out there that would just be just a little bit better, because Super Clean has a tendency to leave just a little bit in the cracks, and you have to use like a plastic toothpick or something like that to remove it. So I'm going to take this Bazooka Marine, and I'm going to take two others, and I'm going to soak them in one in alcohol, one in Super Clean, and one in Simple Green, and I'm going to show you the results. Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, so it's been a couple days, and I'm going to show you the results. First of all, let's do the Super Clean results. When I clean with Super Clean or with Simple Green or with anything, I use electric toothbrushes. Now I have about 4 of these, and one I used for Simple Green, one I've been using for Super Clean, and then I have a third one which doesn't get any chemicals on it, where after I've cleaned it out of the Simple Green, I put it in a multiple hot water bath to scrub off any residue, and I use one that hasn't been in anything. This right here is my Super Clean bucket. I've had models sitting in there for weeks, like maybe even a month, and whenever I need chest or legs, I just go and I grab it out of there. There's tons of stuff, Terminators, all kinds of stuff in there. Here's some of the stuff that I've already cleaned with the Super Clean. I have tons of stuff, Devastators, and all kinds of stuff. Now, after a couple of days, this is what I got with the Bazooka Guide. Now, the areas that have glue on it don't really take all the paint off. Like, you could see there's paint in the corners and stuff. Now, the best way to get that out is with these plastic toothpicks. You see, as I scrape it, it just comes right off. But some areas actually have super glue. Like, for instance, this cap. The areas that had super glue, the Super Clean is awesome. It makes a model fall apart. You could basically harvest bits. You know, you take this, you could clean out these vents right here. You could use an X-Acto knife. An X-Acto knife is better probably, but it can scratch the model if you go too hard. I use it most of the time just to grab stuff, you know, grab the plastic. But one of these containers of plastic toothpicks is great. Basically, it's 100%. Almost, well, 99% clean. You see, as you can see there, the paint falls right off. Obviously, where the glue has gotten, it'll fall apart. The glue will fall apart. Even the chest will actually come off as well. The longer you leave it in there, the more clean it'll be. And like I said, I've left it in there for a month at a time sometimes because I'll forget about it. So that is Super Clean. Simple Green. Empress Canaries told me to use Simple Green. That's because he said that's what he uses. It didn't work for me at all. This guy was blue. It took off the paint, left the primer, and then turned the primer green. Oops. Probably shouldn't have pulled on it. But, you know, I would not suggest. Super Clean so far is superior. That's what I've been using. I know you said, Canaries, that the Simple Greens work for you, but it did not work for me. It dyed the guy green. Okay, then alcohol. Alcohol did a pretty good job. I actually didn't even leave this in for the full 2 days or whatever. I was scared to. what I did was I only left it in there a couple hours at a time, and then I would take it out, and then I would scrub it down with, I wouldn't even use a toothbrush. I was using the, what were they called? Those ear cleaners. Forget what they're called. Anyways, I think the alcohol works pretty good. Just don't leave it in there. It will melt the plastic, but I think if I was to have used a toothbrush dedicated to this, it would have worked. So Super Clean works great on pewter, works great on all the other metal models. It works great on plastic. It doesn't melt it. It doesn't remove detail. Any paint that was where the super glue seeped into cracks will stay, but you won't notice it once you repaint it. Simple Green didn't work. Rubbing alcohol worked alright. For future videos, this video will probably get updated with, if I get a sonic cleaner, I'm going to take Simple Green, put it in there, put some models in there, and hopefully the sonic cleaner will work it good. Darkburn said that works good. And another thing is this little sandblaster thing that you hook up to your air compressor, basically like an airbrush, and it shoots out a fine granule sand or whatever that removes paint.